Morning, everybody. I say morning, you're probably hearing it. This at like 3 in the morning still. It's morning here, at least 11 o'clock, on a Saturday, my only day off the week, and I'm painting my bedroom, hence the slightly old t-shirt. Stopped me getting paint on myself. But and also watching House, the best TV programme in the world, behind, if House had naked people in, then it would be better, but other than that, it's the best thing in the world. Post today about local politics. I know most of you are going click off at the moment, but yeah, there's my local councillor, who was the leader of the council, Lawrence Bailey, very nice man, has resigned, and so there's a by-election, council by-election in my area at the moment, and we're getting a lot of stuff through the doors, leaflets and what have you, particularly from the Lib Dems, because the Lib Dems believe they can actually win in this area. I personally think they can't, but it's interesting enough as well. I just want to teach you something a little bit about local politics, especially in Wales. And this isn't a criticism particularly of the Liberal Democrats, by the way. It's all the parties, including Labour. Labour are equally as bad for this sort of thing, but particularly in this area, Lib Dems tend to do this a lot. There's a leaflet I got through, in fact 2 leaflets. I'll tell you about the second one in a minute. First leaflet, too close to call. Labour and Lib Dems neck and neck. Which is a falsity, because there are no polls done in local elections, at least not in tiny council elections, so there's no way of telling whether the election is close or not. And last election it was 41 to Labour and 17 to Liberal Democrats. I think you'll all agree that's not too close to call at all, but I can understand why they've done it. What really annoys me is, I don't know if you've seen this little corner here, there's a little graphic here of a graph here, which says 41% Labour, 17% Lib Dem, there's a black thing there, and it's got Plaid Cymru won't put a percentage there, Tories also won't put a percentage there, saying, oh, they cannot win. Well, actually, the Tories and Plaid Cymru can win. They're only a couple of percent off the Lib Dems, which obviously they look about, if the graph is wrong, basically, and that annoys me, because why do that? Because the public know, well, they don't, and they're misleading the public, and they know they're doing it, because the Plaid Cymru are remarkably close to the Lib Dems, and the Tories are slightly further down, but can still win the election. That's the point of democracy. And considering it's the Lib Dems who constantly whine about electoral reform and how, first past the vote doesn't support the minor parties, and if you're in third, you're never going to win, this annoys me, because it's sort of, perhaps calling the kettle black, no. They're just being hypocritical, and saying, oh, only we can win, so we should only vote for us. When, if Tories and Labour do that, then they get all up in arms saying, oh, it's electoral reform, oh, it's PR, which would be a dreadful, dreadful idea. The other thing that slightly annoys me about this, and I am whining about the Lib Dems, I know I am, but all the parties do it, but the Lib Dems in this area, this happened at the last general election, where they just load of paraphernalia and propaganda, which was just plain wrong. And misleading, but unless you're a politics freak like me, you're unlikely to realise it's misleading. You're just going to think they're normal political leaflets. Some people may throw them in the bin, some people may briefly read them, but unfortunately you may briefly read them and read something that's a lie, or at least something that's knowingly misleading. There's probably a difference between knowingly misleading and a lie. I don't suggest all the Liberal Democrats are all lying bastards, but they must know they're misleading people. And the other thing that annoys me is that 32 Labour councillors, right? Labour don't actually have the council because they've got slightly less than the majority. It's 32 Labour councillors, 20 Liberal Democrat councillors, and 11 independent councillors, which are apparently all supporting the Lib Dems. Now, if they're all supporting the Lib Dems, doesn't that make them Lib Dem councillors? But because they know they can't win as Lib Dems in certain wards, they go up as independents, which is wrong. That's not how democracy should work. You should stand up and go, look, this is what I'm for. Yes, and that's nothing you whining about that poster. This is the other one, which is photocopy, a blatant photocopy. It's actually remarkably, to be honest, I mean, you probably can't pick up it's a photocopy. I can just about pick up, it's not handwritten. Which came through in a little envelope with our names on, Philip, Catherine, and Daniel, implying that they know us, but in fact they've got that off the electoral register, because otherwise they wouldn't put my name on it, because I'm never here. Which is a photocopy thing, handwritten note saying, oh, just a personal note. Well, it's not, because one of these is given to everyone in the ward, so it's not a personal note at all. So, thank you, Carol Jones. But yeah, just a little note, local politics, which annoys me greatly. at the moment. But the Lib Dems do it, and the Tories do it, and Plaid do it, and Labour do it as well. So I'm not... It's just local politics in general. People patronise people, and it doesn't need to be done. But on the other hand, do you know who your local councillor is? Do you know who your local MP is? And if you live in Wales, do you know who your local AM is? Because a lot of people don't, and it's a challenge to you. Post it on my blog, on the comment section. Put your council member and your MP, because you should know, and I should know too, and I didn't know until relatively recently, until I got properly into politics, and everyone should know. I would whinge about power of the masses and all that stuff, but yeah, you won't be interested. And this is like 5.5 minutes long already. I can't believe I can talk just about that long. Anyway, might cut this in 2 bits, probably will. So, if I am, cut. And if that was all one stream of video, you know I didn't cut it, and it was long.